I don't see why not.
Right?
Mike, you put it bluntly, so I'll just piggyback on it. This game was terrible. I mean, it was borderline unwatchable.
Awful.
Brandon, the interesting thing I find in this is that you said it earlier, it was beautiful. And from your perspective, I'm sure it was Van Gogh. I mean, this was a mosaic. The way that they wound up dominating, from your perspective, it doesn't get better. But I'm interested. The 2 Super Bowl championships that your Seahawks have won were both absolute domination. The last time you were in the Super Bowl was an all-time classic that came down to the last play. What's it like, though? And I know you said you were nervous, but what's it like to kind of just cruise in the world's biggest game? Because I can't imagine what that must feel like to just kind of cruise to the end and win it.
Well, I mean, it's also been just kind of part and parcel for what the team's been like this year, right? How many blowout wins did we have this season? It wasn't like you have 6 games that came down to like 3 points or less, and we had a couple of tight games, yeah. But overall, this was kind of the nature of the beast this year, and it was kind of the remarkable aspect of this team overall. It's definitely surreal. The fact you've done this twice now in a Super Bowl and really taken apart 2 offenses in just complete full fashion on the biggest stage against what's supposed to be the second most elite team in the sport. I think it's notable. I think the part that I really love about it is that this is not a defense that's going to quite rise up to where, let's say, the Legion of Boom ranked, because I think the Legion of Boom is an all-time probably top 5 defense, if not higher. But I do think that this is a defense that does start to scratch up into one of those sort of top 10-ish type places on a defensive front of all time, and especially putting that stamp down with this kind of performance today. So it's almost as important that happens to kind of make sure you put your marker in NFL history for how great you were. And they were great across the board this year. You know, the points per game could have been so much better if the offense didn't constantly put their defense on the short field or give up points on a strip sack fumble in the end zone. It would have looked even more dominant from them statistically. But if you just look at like DVOA and where that stands, you know, they played one of the toughest schedules in regular season NFL history, according to DVOA, like the 11th toughest schedule. And yet you got these kind of blowout wins, these comfortable wins. So it's a little bit like you feel spoiled, Z-Bot, because this is not how the NFL tends to get to be played. But it's also part of why we've just enjoyed the whole process of this at every moment, just savoring every second of it.
Played that tough of a schedule just to get it done in the World Championship against the schedule. So that's how it all goes down in Super Bowl 60. I'm interested to hear what you guys think was the most impressive element of this, because the way I look at it, from my perspective in Buffalo, it just comes down to Josh Allen. And that's good, bad, or indifferent. If the Bills lose, Josh Allen's a choke artist. If the Bills win, he's the greatest we've ever seen. What I loved about this is it's like, God, Sam Darnold didn't really need to do anything. And Kenneth Walker, 135 yards, and it felt like it just was dominant, and they did exactly what they had to do, and then the defense was just as good as I've seen. Mike, you're watching this. Like, what impressed you the most about Seattle's outing here in this particular game?
Well, I mean, just in general, I was impressed that Bad Bunny outrushed the whole freaking the Patriots freaking run game. No, just being serious. Like, I guess what really impressed me is just, but I'm not gonna say it impressed me. Well, it did impress me. The defense, man, it's just on the biggest stage. Now, we talked about it the week prior, right? Like, we've made a whole segment. Like, we were lying to ourselves. Like, what the Patriots got to do to win, right? And we were all kind of like, maybe this, maybe that. Like, we were grasping at straws. But just the impressive nature is them not letting the moment get too damn big. Like, they knew what was ahead of them. Like, they knew that we got to take care of this. And they did it. Like, they almost kind of seemed like, hey, it's just not just another game, but like, this is an important game. We got to win. And they had it from start to finish. Now, of course, they kind of eased up a little bit like towards the third quarter, but like, rightfully so. You were dominating this freaking team. Like, they couldn't do nothing. They were smothered. Any second Drake May could do anything to step back. He was getting harassed in the back. It was just crazy, man. It was crazy to see. So I guess the impressive nature is at the very tippy top of like the best game should have been out there, right? The Super Bowl 60, it was a blowout, man. So congratulations to them. I guess the defense was very impressive that they were able to maintain that in the biggest game.
Jesse, from your perspective, what were you most impressed by based on the fact that this game was 9-0 at half and it just felt like it was over? What did you make of the ability for them to do it the way that they did, and what stood out to you the most?
God, dude. I mean, they were just so dominant. Like, the thing is like the Patriots were not the best representative of the AFC. They just weren't. I mean, it would have been, to your point, so much more fun if the Bills had been there. The Texans, at least their defense could have made things interesting. They had no answers for Seattle. Seattle, at no point, like Mike McDonald looked like he had no care in the world. He was not stressed. He was not worried at all. Like it was just basically, hey, just go out and get a few field goals and that'll be enough. Like it was just sheer domination. And the left tackle for I'm drawing a blank on the Patriots.
Campbell.
Yeah, rookie Campbell. He was a guard all the way through the draft process, and somehow the Patriots overdrafted him to play tackle. And I think will be a good lineman in this league if they move him over to guard. But I mean, he was just getting abused over there. It was awful to watch. Seattle was so impressive in so many ways. I mean, there was a stretch where JSN wasn't out there. It didn't matter. Like they just did everything right outside of the very beginning where it was a little. Mike talked about it, but Sam really was trying to throw an interception. I was like, are you trying to like get one out of the way just to get the monkey off your back? I don't know what's going on, but it was like they toyed with the Patriots the whole way through. And it got to a point where, oh, the Patriots scored. Okay, well, that was interesting. Let's just go get a touchdown of our own. We'll just go right back at you and go score. It just sheer and utter dominance. And even when it started to look close again, where the Patriots were driving, they could get it within one score. It's like, all right, just time to get an interception here and put this game away. Kenneth Walker, I mean, he went from being a player that I wasn't sure about, who I thought was almost a little overhyped by Seahawks fans, to being dominant through this playoff run. I don't know what you do with him this offseason. You guys have some free agents you got to make decisions on. Not that you want to overpay for a running back by any means, but man, he was unstoppable. He was unstoppable all through the playoffs. It was just phenomenal performance, top to bottom across the board for the Seahawks. Just a clear better team.
I'm glad you brought up JSN because to me, I think that adds to how impressive this was. He was non-existent. 4 catches, 27 yards. Cooper Kupp was the best receiver in this game. Jake, I hate to add salt to the wound here, but that was the reality. It's just incredible that it just felt literally like they were just trying to play out the game and just get it done. So was there one thing in particular to you that stood out in terms of the impressive effort we saw from Seattle?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest, and this is why I was like, the 49ers might have had a chance that they were in the game, but the Seahawks got so much pressure on Drake May. It just made it, he had no chance. I mean, I was saying this before this game, he's not reading the field well, like at all. Even when he had time. And when you take away the time, he's not going to read the field any better. And then you take away the run game, which I think it was kind of fun to watch because I went through the motions, not the game, but just like throughout the week, like with Twitter, it was kind of fun to watch these people that were so ignorant to the NFC West, and it just hit them like a ton of bricks of how good this Seattle team was. Like I know I watched them 3 times play against my team, and I watched every single game they played this year. So I wasn't like shocked, but you could tell the people that literally didn't watch Seahawks football this year, they were like, oh, I guess that was all kind of just me hoping that the Patriots were going to win. Like I kept seeing, well, the Patriots haven't lost when Milton Williams and Christian Gonzalez are on the field. Well, yeah, because you played a strength of schedule below 400. Like, I'm like, come on. And Seattle, they didn't have the strongest strength of schedule in terms of the number, but they were in the NFC West. And, oh, by the way, they also played Jacksonville and they played Houston, right? And they beat Houston, and Houston was a team that I thought would be really dangerous. And Jacksonville was a team that I felt like, and this is the thing is that, I think that was one of the tougher divisions to play if you were the NFC, and the NFC West destroyed them for the most part. So, yeah, I think looking at this game, Seattle just putting so much pressure on Drake May, taking away the run game, and then this game was so similar to like week 18, in my opinion, because like and I said this, and obviously the score didn't indicate at the end, it was 29-13, but like most of this game, you're sitting there, you're like, yeah, Seattle's only up 9, but like it feels like they should be up by like 29. You know what I mean? Like it never, they were in control of the entire game. And I don't think at any point they felt like they were in trouble. And I almost feel like, I don't want to say they look down on their opponent, but you could just tell when a team knows that they're just playing with their food. I think Seattle at certain points in this game was just playing with their food. Like they knew this game was in the bag, and I thought that defense, I mean, when I saw the way Drake May played against the Broncos and Vance Joseph's defense, and I saw him the way he played against the Texans, and I saw him the way he played against the Chargers even, I was like, how is that going to be any better with Mike Macdonald? Like I thought the Texans had the best defense all year, and the Seahawks were number 2. Mike Macdonald he threw some things that you could just tell Drake May's reaction, he had never seen anything like it. And I just, at that point, I was like, I had 38-16, so I didn't get the prediction right, but I had a pretty good idea this wasn't going to be close. And you just got to give credit to Seattle. And I saw a lot of people in the comment section jump in to say that I was coping and I was being unfair and being a bad sport. But understand something, like if you're going to watch the show, like listen to the question. Z-Bot asked me how I felt like sitting there and how I felt, as a Rams fan, yeah, if my team was in there, the only team that had been able to really even score on this defense, yes, they absolutely obliterate the Patriots. So I was very annoyed. But that doesn't mean that I don't respect, and I'm not going to throw praise, the Seahawks way. And if you can recall, I was one of the first people to say that they were like in the top 3 this year in the power rankings. And I had them going 11-6, and I changed it. Initially, I had the 49ers as the number 2 team. Then I switched it to Seattle. Excellent job by Mike Macdonald. And now this is when the pressure's on. Like they're young, they got some cap, but now a defensive-minded coach is going to have to go and figure out the offense. I think he will. I don't think it's going to be an issue, but this is where these coaches stand out. When you start, now the X is on your back. Teams are coming for you. They're gunning for you. Everyone knows this. Every single game that they play against Seattle is going to be considered a Super Bowl of some kind. So that's when all of a sudden the target's on your back. And then on top of that, now everybody's like, oh, that Mike Macdonald guy is pretty good. I know it's probably not going to get Mike Macdonald because I'm not like delusional, or maybe I am. I'm going to just take all the guys from his coaching staff. And there's going to be a lot of dog shit teams, Brandon, you'll learn to come by, where teams are just going to poach all of your guys. I know from experience. I've seen it. So this is when, the best coaches in the league rise to the top even further. And I think Mike Macdonald's no different. That's why Jesse and I were panicking when Seattle was looking like they were going to lock that thing in.
And I also know the season is over, but that doesn't mean the fun over on Sleeper has to be over, because they got you covered all off season long with NBA, NHL, you name it. It's all on Sleeper with Sleeper picks. So in order to make the time pass faster until free agency, until the draft, and then of course the 2026 season, get in on the action with a Sleeper slip on NHL and NBA. Link in the description below. Click that, sign up for Sleeper, and once you do, you will immediately get a free $20 entry. And once you use that free $20 entry, use the promo code on your screen, RTS, and that will get you a 100% match up to $100 on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper terms of use for details. Currently available in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper via the link in the description below. And while you're down there, folks, the giveaway for the JSN signed and framed jersey is still going down over on the Covered app. What better way to celebrate a Super Bowl championship than with a piece of memorabilia like that? Link in the description below. Click it and download the Covered app. Awesome app that helps you with your finances, and you can play games along the way.